Teach me that.
Are you still tinkering with that?
It's not gonna fix itself.
Don't we have repair drones for that kind of thing?
This was a repair drone.
Do you mind? I'm meeting someone. Oh. You mean I'm supposed to be meeting you? Nothing, it's just... I thought you'd be taller. Anyway, let's not get hung up on that. The Phoenix is a wanted man and the board has eyes everywhere in Byzantium. Yeah, that's my codename for... you know, our mutual friend. He did a good job finding you. You'll fit right in here. Anyway, you're looking to make contact with Minister... Magpie, right? I should warn you, it won't be easy. He spends most of his time in his estate, which is heavily guarded. I've always been fascinated by birds. If you ever research Earth species, there are thousands of them, so colorful and distinct. The other thing about birds, though, is their environmental indicators. Exactly. I started thinking about everything we see around Halcyon, and all the things we don't see. For starters, you rarely come across anyone living in Byzantium who wasn't born here, even though we get ships in all the time.
Trust me, anyone with a lick of sense gets out of here as soon as possible.
But most people don't. In fact, most people stay exactly where they start. Doesn't that seem strange to you? And then there's the way nothing gets fixed. There used to be a suggestion box around here. People would drop ideas in. Nothing ever came of them, of course.
Sounds like my old job. I had all these bang-up ideas, you know? Like making everybody haul their own damn boxes. Never did catch on, though.
That's what I mean. Everyone needs a suggestion box so they can voice their thoughts. So what if nothing changes? Sure, that part is. That's why they install shredders in those boxes, after all. But one day the shredder broke. No one came to fix it. And since it wasn't working, we didn't have anywhere to file our complaints. So you can imagine how messy things got. At first, management put up an out-of-order sign, but that just seemed to worry people, like they were advertising something wasn't working. They eventually took the whole suggestion box sign down so that people didn't have any expectations about it. But they never fixed it, never replaced it. Doesn't that seem odd to you? Except that's not how they go. At least that's not how they're supposed to go in Byzantium. The whole episode made me wonder, if they can't fix something as simple as a suggestion box, what else aren't they fixing? After a while, I got connected with our mutual friend and started using my position here to feed him information when I could. That's it, really. Whoa, I'm not one of your B&E specialists. I just provide intelligence. Birds are kind of my specialty. Codenames, too. But I can give you some information. Some of the guards hang around Billingsley's House of Inebriation between shifts.
That place is still open? I used to study there during medical school.
Maybe you could do some reconnaissance there. You know, swipe a key while nobody's looking. Just remember, you didn't hear it from me. Afraid not. He almost never leaves his home, and his guards never leave him.
A reminder to all crew members, there is only one toilet on the ship.
Something busted, Captain? Something on your mind? I'm a surgeon by training and a pirate by inclination. Not much else to know, Captain. I like long walks on the promenade and the smell of Spacer's Corona. I make a mean zero-G cocktail and I've got a meaner right hook. No complaints here.
Every SAM unit comes lean, mean, and ready to clean.
Good to see you, boss.
Hey, should've get off the pot, damn it. Are you listening in there? You can't be hogging the facilities for 40 damn minutes. You ought to see Ellie. You got a condition or something. Hey, Cap. Oh, that's just Frida. She's the first rapt I ever killed. I had her preserved. Took it to a dock in Stellar Bay. He said something about cold storage this and preservative that, and at the end of the day, the head didn't stink anymore. 20 years later, it still doesn't. That, or I've become accustomed to it. Me too, to be honest. I'd have thought she'd have started rotting years ago. Counting my blessings. Her. And of course, she's a great conversationalist. Never argues, never judges. Hey, Cap.
Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged. What's occupying your thoughts?
We're now in orbit above Fallbrook, Captain.
This looks like the place. You ready to get my money or what?
I see you're still in one piece. However, you never know when that could change. Consider our accidentally torn into tiny fragments coverage. Note that all of your fragments must be recovered and must be smaller than a standard bit cartridge for the payouts to kick in. I remember that one. That's the young socialite who broke her neck, right?
Of course, no one remembers me for the marauders I've killed or the bits I've stolen. Typical.
That claim was airtight. Our best investigators couldn't find an exclusion for that one.
Are you serious?
Well, we interviewed the parents extensively. They had plenty of awkward childhood stories that illustrated their daughter's clumsiness and capriciousness.
Hey, those are entirely made up.
Furthermore, the claim spurred a whole line of fashion-related policies. It's become a very lucrative market. You can't, of course. Only Miss Fenhel can assign her beneficiaries. And she's dead. If we let every friend, relative, and acquaintance change a policy like that, people would do it all the time. Imagine the paperwork. Oh, you mean hypothetically? Well, hypothetically, you'd access the terminal in the back room that contains data on all our policies. And you'd, theoretically, add the beneficiary of your choice. But you wouldn't actually do that, of course. That would be fraud. That's for the best. What can I do for you?
Can we talk? You really did it. Give these payouts a few years and I'll be rolling in it. I've never been prouder to stand back and watch someone else work. I'm just glad my folks aren't gonna live off that awful story they made up. Maybe now they'll have to go back to real jobs. Maybe as line holders or warm bodies? Oh, sure. You've got to wait in line for just about anything in Byzantium, and not everyone has the time or inclination to do it themselves. As for warm bodies, some companies like to keep extra workers on site to look more productive. Oh no, there's lots of paper shuffling and pen clicking that goes on. The really good ones know how to leave sticky notes in just the right places. See, this is why I had to get out of Byzantium. Not sure what comes next for me, though. I've never been much of a planner. You talk like someone who likes lists. Maybe you haven't noticed, but you can't even count on a bribe making it into the right pocket. What's the point of planning for anything around here? Hate to say it, but Halcyon's already there. Anyway, enough of that. You did a job for me, so here's your fee. Don't make it weird. Even you've got to be in it for the money now and then. Why else would you go through all this trouble? You sure? Because my kind of friends will pick your pocket clean while they're getting hammered with you. You don't have to get all mushy about it. Still, maybe you've got a point. Maybe it's good to watch someone's back now and then so that one day, they watch yours. So, you just keep the money. One of us has to look out for your interests. It's nothing personal. It's just the closest thing I've got to a code. Anyway, enough of the touchy-feelies, huh? Something on your mind?
Well, well. Aren't you the very picture of good health and sound decision-making? However, we can't make good decisions all the time. Consider whoopsie-daisy coverage. Please note that to make a claim under this policy, you must describe your error in detail before a panel of relatives over the age of 65. And also note that doing so nullifies the privacy and dignity clause.
Can we talk?
Well, and also... I see you're still in one. No. I remember... Of course. That... You can't... If we let... Of course she is. The paperwork says so.
I like to think she's dead in spirit, but technically, legally, and regretfully, I'm still Marilyn Fenhill.
That's impossible. By all accounts, she was an elegant and classy woman with impossibly fine bone structure. That couldn't possibly be you.
That's gotta be the nicest thing anyone's said to me in a long while.
Oh, you mean hypothetically? I think you have something in your eye. Perhaps I can interest you in our ocular abnormality coverage. Please, my policy only covers paper cuts and wrist strain. Very well, I'll do it. But then you've got to go. Confrontations like this will raise my premiums. I'll need the name of the new beneficiary.
Ellie Fenhill?
If you say so. The payouts will flow exclusively into the new account at the start of the month. I hope Ms. Fenhill enjoys her newfound prosperity.
Can we... Ah, crazy town. Never change. Well, Captain, here we are. Killed a lot of people in the name of the Iconoclasts, and it never feels right. But this time, it's especially wrong. You've got the... Void help me. I'll never remember what that thing is called. The device from the ship. Do you have it? I've thought about it, but I think we're too far gone. Pulling Carlotta's support was crossing a line. That's not exactly it, but you've got a point. We've lost a hell of a lot to this fight. Graham would never agree to this, but I'm starting to realize how often he led us astray. All right. If he's willing to talk, I'll give him a chance. Well then. I've got to prepare a few just-in-case measures, but when you're ready, let's meet at the old OSI church outside Stellar Bay. Reminds me of the crew cabin on one of my first ships.
Hey, thanks for coming.
I wish I'd had more time to prepare a proper analysis on the costs and benefits of your proposed union, but I suppose we'll have to improvise.
Oh, let's just get started, shall we?
I get the feeling this is gonna take a while.
Sanjar, Stellar Bay's got food and walls. And my people need both. If you'll have us, we're willing to share the space.
Do you have any idea what that would cost? Why, drawing up the budget alone is going to take weeks.
Not good enough. I need to move a fair amount of my people into the city. We need shelter, Captain. Suppose some of our healthier folk could offer aid. Some of us need to stay in the city proper, though.
Well, I'll be damned. If you two can work together, maybe there's some hope for this place after all.
Truly, a compromise? I'm not sure I'd ever have heard as much from Graham.
Graham was a murderous fiend, and I'd be shocked if you didn't already know that.
This feels like one of those times when everyone at headquarters but me is laughing at something, but you two aren't laughing.
Amber Heights, you haulhead. 10 years ago, Graham had all those people killed.
What? That's not possible. Even for him, that's going too far. But that means I had no idea, I swear. Look, we were both fed up with corporate leadership, but I never guessed he'd do something like that.
I think I believe him. He's just dumb enough to mean it.
You can't take bureaucrats at their word. You back someone into a corner like this, and they'll say anything to get out of it. Okay. You're right. Sorry. It'll take me a while to get over losing Graham.
You know, I felt the same way years ago, when he first left. You know, there was something magnetic about him that let you ignore the things you didn't want to see. But surely you know what that's like.
Yeah, I do. Okay, if you're willing to house and supply some of us, I'll have our more capable soldiers help out.
As am I. Oh, I can feel my blood pressure lowering already.
Thanks for coming out, Sanjar. Guess I'll see you at Stellar Bay.
50-bit says they kill each other before the week's out. Don't know how you managed to get Zora and Sanjar in the same room.
Hey.
If you'll excuse me.
Whew, here we go. I haven't set foot in here since... Well, I'm ready. Yeah, right? Yeah. Here we go.
You gotta teach me that. Clean this up, right?
Damn, you got some nimble fingers, Captain. Well, this is the spot. You know, I thought I'd be angry. I thought I'd storm in here in a rage and exterminate all these bugs and everything would be all right in the end. But I ain't. I'm mostly just empty. A little sad, maybe. The first night Hayes and I spent in here, we knew it was home. It's safe. It's got a nice chill to it. But mostly, it doesn't stink of sulfur. Monarch folks often joke about it. Not because of the smell or the grittiness it leaves in your throat. Not because of the headaches or the coughing. It's because there's no escaping it. It's life here, and there ain't anything you can do about it. But here, somehow the sulfur never made it. The nights we spent in here felt like vacations. So we started building. We hauled in steel, hired sublight folk to help. That's how we met Anders and Opal. They stuck around after our contract was up. Opal liked camping. Anders liked chasing her tail. 4 of us for a while, scraping together what bits we could to build our home. Then came Rebecca, a sawbones out of the Cascadia survivors, who took a kindness to Hayes. And Clara, her little sister. I'll admit I wasn't keen on taking her on at first, but for a teenager, she was surprisingly capable. More like attached at the hip to her older sister. Got a kind of strength between them, I suppose. She had a head for numbers, helped us trade hides for food and materials, negotiated contracts. Turned out to be mighty useful. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, and me. 6 folks, 1 name, 1 family. Charon. Despite Monarch trying to kill us day in and day out, we managed to belong. Me too, Captain. But I'm starting to think that maybe I found another. Now let's get to shooting before I get all sentimental.
Oh, you are in for it now.
I wish these were more auspicious circumstances, but at least we're all here. This bringing them together, burying them. This is the kind of thing Hayes would have done. That makes it stupid. By all accounts, we should have left well enough alone, but that also makes it right. Captain, thank you. You mind if we rest a spell before we head out? I'd like to bury Opal and Clara proper before I lay everyone's medallions to rest.
Don't know how you managed to get Zora and Sanjar in the same room. Their mistake. They're on us.
That thing crashed a long time ago. It ain't gonna fly again, so don't go getting funny ideas.
Searching. Take your best shot, asshole. Repairs required.
That's the last of them.
Captain, Felix and the Vicar are arguing again.
Young Millstone, you look pensive.
I don't know what that means, but I've been thinking. It ain't easy carrying a torch for the Rangers.
I understand. The Rangers' victories are your victories. Their defeats are likewise crushing.
You serious? Wow, Max. Never expected you to understand.
This may come as a surprise to you, Felix, but I understand what it is to be a fan.
That's so. You know something? Maybe I was wrong about you.
To be a fan is to live vicariously through another. You feel you are one with the Rangers.
You ain't been the same ever since your drug swing, Max.
Sanitizing within established radius.
Things on Monarch have really cooled off. I didn't think MSI and the Iconoclast would ever talk. Outside of shouting four-letter words, I mean. Sure, and fish sticks are really made from Saltuna. Look, I won't knock the work you did. I'm sure they'll have a good cry, look through old photographs, share a pint of premium double chocolate cacao gelato. But sooner or later, things will go back to the way they were. People don't change. Not really. Drawn from life, I guess. Anyway, I'd hate to see you get broken up if this thing between them doesn't last. Hey, let's not make this out to be more than it is. Anything else?
Good to see you.
Hey, Cap.
We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
Heard what you did to Harlow. Wish I could have been there to watch. Dirt alert! Dirt alert!
Ah! My legs! in one piece?
Captain, if you're looking for crew members Ellie...
You ever notice how our crew's a lot like that crime family from the Masked Marketeer?
So who's Parvati?
You remember the youngest daughter who always does what she's told, but in the season finale she murders 12 people with a knife? Parvati.
It's always the quiet ones.
Like what I did with the place?
We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain. Stay safe out there.
Okay. Real slick.
Can you believe I'm retiring? Lucky me.
Down there, a new ship. Doesn't look like any of the corporate freighters.
But what would they be doing here? And how did they ever get permission to land?
Perhaps we'll finally get some excitement after all.
Kid, you got presence. Natural magnetism. Know what I mean? That's gold. Next time, we'll have you say that over the rim of a Trippistout. Product placement, baby. Listen, you got an agent? Some kind of representation? Fresh, natural talent. I know it when I see it. Listen, you got a real special quality, raw energy. I see you in pictures, kid. Ha! A sense of humor, that's good. Every picture needs some comedy. I'm making a feature, Space Pirates of Moros Prime. It's gonna be a hit. But we still need a star, and I think you got the chops.
Not so fast. First, we gotta talk about royalties.
Let's just see where this audition goes, huh? So what do you say? You ready for the chance of a lifetime? Terrific! We're holding auditions at the studio. Head to Odeon Pictures and take the elevator. You're going all the way to the top, baby.
Anti-Cleo's facial mask skin cream leaves you feeling fresh and tingling. Do not operate heavy machinery for 2 hours after application. Try Anti-Cleo's. It's better than nature.
If I spit, think I can hit that mechanical down there?
You'll get in trouble.
Anti-Cleo's energizing ointment. Enjoy 6 cups worth of concentrated caffeine in every dollop. Anti-Cleo's pipe patch. All of the benefits of smoking a real pipe, none of the messy cleanup. Anti-Cleo's ketchup. Organic, vegan, handmade, gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free. Anti-Cleo's antibiotics. Take comfort in knowing that anything antibiotics cannot stop will probably kill you quickly. Anti-Cleo's level head. Feeling a little off balance? You need a level head. Anti-Cleo's energizing ointment. Enjoy 6 cups worth of concentrated caffeine in every dollop. C&P chicken and potatoes. At C&P, we know our C&P.
I've always loved.
What can I do for you, darling? I've been thinking of a name for this new outfit. Chimera. Crafted from the hides of 3 species of monster. While you were gone, I put in an order for one of my bespoke lapels. Solid gold, diamond encrusted. If it doesn't have one of my lapels, it's not a Jolicoeur original. Those slackwits at HPS are holding my parcel while they wait for a signature.
Bureaucracy is so utterly insufferable. Be a dear and retrieve it for me. Understatement of the year, darling. Believe me, I'm every bit as frustrated as you are. Wonderful! I'm giving you authorization to retrieve this parcel on my behalf. You truly are my savior, darling.
I love Byzantium. Where else are you going to find art?
Looking for weapons? You've come to the right place. Every Byzantine needs high-quality armaments, and you won't find better anywhere else. Why, to defend their property, of course.
50-Bit says he's got a hard on right now.
Byzantium is the best of what Halcyon has to offer. It's up to us to protect it.
You ought to worry about protecting your eyes. What happened? Are you running with scissors?
What? Oh, the eye patch is just for show. But the weapons are all real and of the highest quality. Marauders, dissidents, especially large sprats. One never knows what threat might arise. And you're here to buy a weapon, are you not?
That episode from a few weeks ago was supposedly based on a real incident.
You mean the one where the...
My dear fellow, you've no idea how our production has suffered. Why, the loafers working our factory lines are practically robbing us.
It's even worse for us, my good man. Our workers, if one can call them that, keep losing fingers. How are we to make a bit?
Wretched, isn't it?
I tell you, we'll change the font in our contracts.
A fine day for parcel pickups, isn't it? Welcome to Halcyon Parcel Service. Deliveries guaranteed within standard margins of accuracy. Halcyon Parcel Service is the most dependable parcel delivery service in the colony. You might even say we're part and parcel of Halcyon's commercial enterprise. That's just a little parcel joke. Nope, just parcels. We don't deal in packages. It's very technical. Halcyon Parcel Service strictly adheres to the standards and definitions of packaging as outlined by the Executive Ministry of Accuracy and Morale. We can ship all the parcels you want, but if I start shipping packages, I could get into some real trouble. Handcuffs and hard labor trouble. If you would like to sign for a parcel, please go to window B.
Welcome to Halcyon Parcel Service, where all parcels are guaranteed to be delivered within acceptable margins of certainty. How may I be of assistance? Let me just look that up for you. It appears that a parcel for Ms. Jolicoeur, Celeste is currently out for delivery. Let me see here. A parcel for Jolicoeur, Celeste is being delivered to 316 Rockwell in the Byzantium Estates. Thank you for allowing HPS to be your only option today.
Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch.
Times have you seen Terror on Monarch?
Flavored power nuggets.
Terror on Monarch loses its appeal after the Fifth Union. Now.
For all auditions, please use the elevator on the left.
We gonna do this? Hold on. Gotta fix my hair.
My cousin's in pictures. That business makes piracy look civil.
Great! You made it! Listen, I know you're expecting a script, but you're the real deal. Just go in there and do what feels natural. See, that's the kind of energy I'm talking about. Real, raw, spontaneous. Give us more of that. We gave the other actors real weapons to keep things authentic. And 'cause Josh is paying to see their logo on the big screen. Don't think it, just act. Now go in there, find your mark, and show us what you got.
Well, well. Here to stop us at last, Captain Steele? You're too late. All of this settlement CNP Hungry Time food pills, same nutritional value, but now with added filler, are ours. With their patented stomach stuffing effects and baseline vitamin content, we will be nigh unstoppable. You trying to snag my CNP endorsement? Take it easy.
Am I in the shot? Hang on. I'm gonna give him the old millstone glare.
Do you remember the last time we faced each other? The Battle of Axejack, staring one another down, across the void of space while flaming debris fell like rain around us. Oh, I'm sorry, am I not giving the scene enough energy for you? I had you surrounded and outgunned, but you overcame my superior numbers with tactical thinking and a Hammersmith limited edition grenade launcher.
Wow, you got a real limited edition? With 10% more ammo for 12% more carnage?
Quit upstaging me! I've been waiting for 5 years now, and at last my day for vengeance has come! Damn it! Don't upstage me! I have this whole port wired with sub-micro energon transistors. Once we're away, I'll activate the gamma particulate field, and the quantaponic chain reaction will turn this whole place into vaporized plasma. What the fuck are you doing? I'm supposed to say the science words. You're just making me look bad. I hope you've paid your burial fees and signed your personal death and dismemberment waivers, because this is the end for you. Fuck! How does Maverick expect me to compete with this? I can improvise too. Safety's off, everyone. Heads up, boss! I'll take care of this!
There's my star. Walk and talk with me. Finally, a hero audiences can relate to. That was pure genius. We're gonna rake in the bits and the awards with this one. You bet it is, but that's show business. It'll take months to get your contract lined up, but it'll be worth it. This fee is just the beginning. Stick with me, and you'll take us both to the top. I don't have time for this.
Rizzo's Lemon Slap. Slap your whole family tonight.
I think we can both agree that Maverick Johnson.
So you're really running around with us now, huh?
Sure am. I'm a part of the crew now. Got my own bunk and everything.
You know, Felix, now that you're a real pirate, I should induct you into the Pirate's Code of Silence.
Ooh, the Code of Silence! What's that?
It means you agree not to talk for a very long time. Real slick.
Hey, Ellie, you wanna know what I think? I think they ought to make a serial about our crew. Only, we'd have all these secret messages in every episode, see?
What happened to the Code of Silence, Felix?
Hey, why do you always do that thing with your eyes whenever I talk to you?
What's gone into Bach?
You on the alert, maybe? Looking out for hidden enemies?
Let's just say you remind me of someone.
I bet they were real pretty.
Remember that stranger I saw? In the square.
Have you tried our new cocktail sponsored by Rizzo's? 1 part purple spectrum vodka, 1 part artificial tomato-like substitute juice. We call it a Blue Bloody Mary. Oh, by all means, ask away. I don't believe in work. Work is for auto mechanicals and lower classes. I don't mean to sound cruel. There's nothing wrong with working. It's just so unnecessary. Why bother? We all have our roles in society. I like to think of myself as an entrepreneur. This drinking establishment is my investment. Maverick Johnston's about to release his new picture. From what I hear, they've already started shooting.
Hey, stand back, you. I'm part of Minister Clark's personal detail, and that means you gotta keep 5 feet back at all times. Of course not. But I'm not on the job right now. The others took me out to celebrate on account of me just getting hired and all. He's basically the most important person in the colony, which makes me the most important guard in the colony. Yeah. That means I got a key to the minister's estate, my own personal UDL-issued shotgun. They don't give those out to just anyone. That's right. Not just anyone is allowed to have a key to Minister Clark's residence. It's all so very high level. Oh, he's, medium height with, like, medium colored hair and, like, a kind of a medium face. Just like in his posters. Everyone tells me he's very private, okay? Besides, I just started. That's a great idea! I'll have a Spectrum vodka.
What can I do for you? Then you'll want to speak with our auto-mechanical inebriation assistant, located just over there. Quite so, but I would never lower myself to do something as gauche as tending bar. My auto-mechanical assistant does all the work for me.
Please allow me to improve your drinking experience with fine cocktails and pre-approved banter. Request confirmed. Banter protocol activated. Welcome, attractive patron, to Billingsley's House of Inebriation. Studies have shown that drinking in the vicinity of extremely valuable objects, such as this automechanical bartender, can enhance the quality of your intoxication.
Hey, you look familiar. Have we met before? Here's to me! Hey, you're really great. Have I told you that? We should be friends. Wow, listen to me. I'm soaked. I should probably slow down before I'm face down on the tile somewhere. Who am I kidding? I could have another. You got another?
Please allow me to improve your drinking experience with fine cocktails and pre-approved banter.
Hey, you look familiar. Have we met before? It's not every day you get your dream job, right? Wow, you've got like this crazy energy. Has anyone ever told you that? You're like a manosaur. You got a manosaur energy. Oh, Laws, I gotta stop. I'm seeing at least 2 of you. I really shouldn't. I'll have the worst hangover tomorrow if I don't stop.
Nonsense. You've got another in you. Doctor's orders.
Guess I can't argue with that. Ugh. Was that one supposed to taste like Purple Berry Crunch? Or am I just tasting breakfast? I don't feel so good. I think I'm gonna be sick.
Nice and easy.
You ever watch Agent Khan? He's got this ship, right? The Invincible? And we got a ship, right? So I got to thinking, who'd win in a race? The Invincible or the Unreliable?
Felix, you watch too many movies.
Hey, you sound just like Nyoka. Adventure serials are my education. Where else am I supposed to learn how to kick a jackass in the chest?
Oh, there.
That's what being a pirate's all about, right?
I hate to tell you, but a lot of the job is waiting for a gig.
Hey, Ellie. When was it that you realized the board was crushing the life out of this colony?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the board? The machine of oppression? Ain't that why you became a pirate? Because you wanted to be free and all?
I'm just after a paycheck, kid.
Oh, could you please leave quietly now?
This reminds me of... Oh, never mind.
Smells like the med bays, only wealthier.
That's far enough. What are you doing here? How did you even get inside? You're in my house, and I'm not fucking around. Start talking.
If anyone ever tries to off me, I hope they do it with the same professional courtesy.
Hagen? I've never heard of her. Is she from the board? Damn it. I knew this would happen. To keep me quiet. But if you didn't know that, I'm guessing they didn't send you. I always assumed they would put a bullet in my head one of these days. I don't know anyone named Hagen. This is utter nonsense. I've never even been to Groundbreaker. What happened to the team? Tell me you didn't move their suspension tanks. Small consolation. My team, the finest minds of their generation, reduced to salvage. We were trying to prove that the colony could survive the crisis bearing down on us.
What are you doing, Doctor? This information is beyond classified.
You can write me up in your report. It hardly matters. I'm researching a new way to feed the colony. The crops we transplanted from Earth don't give us the nutrients we need. Our colonists might not realize it yet, but they're starving. The food we grow here barely sustains human life. The colony won't last under these conditions. So, the board let me approach the problem from a different angle. I believed that I could adapt humans to live on Halcyon's terms. That I could change us. Give us the ability to derive sustenance from the nutrients the food does have. I see. How do I put this so you'll understand? Halcyon, our colony, food here doesn't feed us real good. So I want to change Earth humans into Halcyon humans. Yes?
Thank you, finally. Been waiting for somebody to explain all this in layman's terms.
I'm glad you understand. I hope you also understand how important my research is. I know. I was there. Thomas was the first to take the gas. A simple test, he said. I told him not to, but he insisted. We learned a lot from his autopsy. Enough that we could try it on each other and know when to stop. No one else died. I must find a cure so his sacrifice isn't in vain. I wouldn't allow us to experiment on convicts or the unemployed. It's wrong, no matter what the law says. Everyone agreed. We accepted the risks. I'm desperate. I've already asked all the best institutes on Earth for help. Years ago, we sent a message out on the Cornelius Vanderbilt, but heard nothing back. It's been missing for over 2 years now. They never re-established contact after the skip to Earth. Of course, the board is keeping that under wraps.
Imagine losing something with that many guns on it.
Board cover-ups? Vessels disappearing into the aether? Sounds like the work of aliens to me.
The board is uneasy about letting the colony know, seeing as half of their military force vanished without a trace. I'd prefer if you didn't use my name when you talk about this. My contract has a list of very terrible consequences for breaking secrecy. Once we can replicate a success, the board will move to rewire our nucleon. With any luck, our next generation will be eating and thriving off Halcyon crops.
Knowing what the board considers a success, that doesn't give me a lot of hope.
I don't understand a word she said, but I don't like her tone one bit.
We haven't made enough strides to advance the plan. Hardly any at all. But we have to keep trying. You came to kill me. I assume that's still on the table. Please don't. If I die, there's no one who can reproduce our work. Every sacrifice will have been for nothing. And we'll be no closer to a solution that feeds the colony.
I try not to, least when it comes to the moral dilemmas. Lilia Hagen's a useful ally to have, but I'll back you up either way.
Everything I did was for the good of the colony. Consider that.
You know how I feel, boss. If you're a cog in the corporate apparatus, your face is pretty much fair game. That's my motto.
I hope you know what you're doing, Captain. I leave it in your hands. The one on the wanted posters? They say he's an anarchist. A madman, a butcher. I'll do it.
Doctor!
What choice do I have, Commander? What kind of scientist would I be if I held to a promise like that? I need to get out of here. Phineas can contact me when he's ready to work together. For now, I'd better pack up the lab and head somewhere discreet.
Not so fast. Captain, what you just learned is beyond your clearance. Hell, it's beyond mine. Give me one reason why I should let you walk out of here alive. Wrong answer.
Heads up!
I hope Dr. Wells has the resources to handle this project. Hey! Stop that! What do you think you're doing? Oh. I guess, never mind then.
just don't get how you can be so casual about your integrity, Ellie. Way I see it, you're either standing up to the board, or you're standing up for him.
I know nuance ain't exactly your strong suit, but it's not that simple. Grow a few hairs on your chest and you'll see.
I might not have your schooling, but at least I stand for something.
And you'll fall for anything. That's how the saying goes.
The Acropolis district is off limits. Move along.
You could have asked me, you know.
What in the law's name are you on about? Honest mistake. Why don't you come back another time and we can take this from the top?
Oh, there. That's one right there. Variety radiating off of her. Oh, there.
How splendid. Another rung leech wandering through the streets of Byzantium. Why, just this morning I thought to myself, as lovely as the gardens are, what they really need is more greasy vagrants frolicking through them. And here you are, frolicking. Admittedly. Now if only you could gracefully take a shower, preferably in whatever hovel you came from. Honestly, what is the board thinking letting so many of your ilk into the city proper? It's madness. I earned my place here, just like everyone else. My grandfather was the CIO at Tile, you see. Chief Idea Officer. He came up with all the best ideas for their products. You know the font they use for Stogie Slims? That was him. Well, he described the idea of it to their font development team, then picked it from a list of choices, but that's basically the same thing. It was a very long list. I just told you. My grandfather made millions of bits as CIO, and I earned them from him. Of course it is. Wealth is the most visible, objective measure of success. And success isn't given to you, it's earned. My grandfather taught me that. If you have wealth, you're successful, and if you're successful, you must have earned it. Honestly, it's a simple concept. You're welcome. Now, do we have any further business, or are you just here for the repartee? What's wrong? It erodes the very pillars of our society. Merit, decorum, personal hygiene. This city is meant for us, the system's finest. We earned its luxuries. But now we are overrun with the unworthy and the ungrateful, and this early retirement nonsense is making it even worse. Oh, do spare me your petty judgment. It's beneath me. Millions and millions of bits beneath me. By simply winning a lottery, those early retirees get an exclusive district of Byzantium to themselves. No one else is even allowed to go there. Tell me, how is that fair? Only if I win it. It's not right. I deserve to see any district I please. Why, if it weren't guarded, I'd... You know, you look like you've been shot at before. What say I hire you to investigate this travesty, and you get paid to do so?
She's got a point. We're probably gonna get shot at anyway. Might as well make a few bits.
Yes. Listen to your... What is that person's job exactly? Are they your secretary? Personal masseuse? Or do you just keep them around as a mobile armrest? Well, it doesn't matter. What's important is that you think this is a fabulous arrangement, and you'd be thrilled to lend me your services. Aren't you? Did you miss the part where I said I'd pay you? That's all the reason someone like you should require. Better than money? Let's see, there's... no. The thrill of discovery. Like in an Aetherwave adventure. People love those, right? Don't you want to see what the retirement district is like? Fantastic. Consider yourself employed, vagrant. I hear the chosen retirees all enter the retirement district via the port landing pad, but it's completely locked down. You'd never get in that way. Unless, of course, you had a wealthy, beautiful benefactor of impeccable social pedigree, which you do. How fortunate for you. These codes will get you past the lockdown. Oh, and don't worry about subtlety. I don't care how you deal with security, just correct this injustice at all costs. The same way anyone gets anything here, of course. I made friends with the right people. Bits might earn you a place in Byzantium, but that means everyone here has little need for more of them. For favors like this, you need to spend... let's call it social capital.
Hey, how are you doing?
I don't know, Ellie. Clyde was the one friend I had since I was a kid. I don't think I'm getting over this anytime soon.
Better him than you, right?
Yeah, I tried telling myself that already. Didn't work then, ain't working now. Thanks, though.
You, sir, are a fabulous negotiator.
I'm on my legally allotted break. Really, I'm supposed to be here. Oh, what are you doing here? Nothing. Nothing. Why? Does it look like I'm up to something? Laws, I knew it! You got me. I'm caught, aren't I? I work in the lab at the Ministry of Accuracy and Morale. Some of my sprats went missing, but it's not my fault, okay? Maybe I let them out more often than regulations allow, but they need to stretch their little legs. And so what if I occasionally forgot to latch their cage? Everyone gets a little distracted now and then. They escaped, and before I could coax them back, they'd made their way to the maintenance tunnels. Even if I did dare go down there, they're among all the common sewer sprats and exterminator mechanicals. Really? In that case, take this collection crate. 6 of my little ones are down there, but don't worry, you can easily tell them apart from common sewer sprats. They have intelligent eyes, an agreeable yet reserved demeanor, and a fondness for hiding. Also, they're white rather than green. Please, do take care, and do mind the exterminator mechanicals. If the worst should happen to my little darlings, well, I still want their bodies. For science, of course. To deal with the sewer sprats, of course. They're quite the nuisance. Therefore, my, research. Oh, very well. It's true. I do run studies on them at the lab, but I also have a special connection with them. See, I'm an enormous fan of all my colonists. The early seasons, before the plotlines got tacky. You must have seen the classic episodes. Oh, I forget, some parts of Halcyon are lacking in modern plumbing, not to mention the latest in entertainment. Well, I name all my sprats after my favorite characters. That way, their stories can live on in rodent form. So you see, it's imperative that I get them all back. Not just names, they all have backstories too. There's Lord Reginald Kim III, Lady Philippa Farnsworth, Vonda von Vermington, Haroon Greenlee, Iskander Emmanuel Sanchez, and Evelyn Ensley Okoye. Ah, She's the chief executive of Farnsworth Incorporated and a fearless captain of industry. He's a mercurial shareholder. They're in a rather tumultuous marriage contract. She's an ambitious shareholder in Farnsworth Incorporated who wants more than stock. Or does she? It's difficult to tell what exactly she's after, but she is trying to seduce both Lord Reginald and Lady Philippa. So is everyone. Haroon is a mysterious young man with amnesia. His backstory's still a work in progress. Iskander is Lady Philippa's trusty assistant. He's trying to seduce Vonda. She's a member of Farnsworth Incorporated's regulatory board. A wise woman with a sharp tongue and a heart of gold. Something else? I still am. After all, I'm a person of very little influence and only middling prospects. No one does favors for free. But I must say, I'm far too distressed to think critically about your suspiciously kind offer. Well, to maintain things, of course. Like big, humming machine things with gears. And pipes. Water pipes. Air pipes. All sorts of pipes. That's why they connect the city from the Acropolis district to here. Everyone knows sewer sprats carry diseases. And the exterminator mechanicals have been known to fire on larger targets. Why they'd do that when they're only supposed to attack sprats, I've no idea. But there are rumors. Some people say there are strange things in those tunnels. Assassins. A room full of murderous automechanicals. Monsters hungry for human flesh. A hidden bureaucratic purgatory where things and people are lost forever. Not that I place any stock in silly rumors, of course.
Halcyon Parcel Service is proud to be the colony's only parcel delivery service. How may I be of assistance? I must respectfully ask that you calm down, please. Parcels must be picked up at window A.
How may I be of assistance? Of course. If you could just verify for me that you are Jolicoeur, Celeste, or an officially authorized proxy? Everything seems to be in order. Here you are, one parcel. I hope this has been a pleasant and satisfying transaction. Halcyon Parcel Service thanks you for your patronage.
All right, hushen up.
I'm afraid I can't come down anymore, my good man.
Welcome to the Bureau of Exploration. We're not currently offering any tours.
Well, you're obviously not from around here. I don't believe I've ever seen visitors in the Bureau before, come to think of it. If you were from around here, you'd probably be off enjoying yourself in Prosperity Plaza, not poking around the bureau. Alonso Vallejos. Extraordinarily pleased to make your acquaintance, and so on and so forth. I'm currently operating a sightseeing tour of sorts. Think of it as a guided journey across Halcyon. Would you be interested in a trial run? Glad you asked. Our tour guides you across some of the most picturesque and breathtaking sights around Halcyon. We've placed some beacons across a series of locations around Halcyon. All you have to do is follow the beacons to adventure. That slogan's a work in progress. So, what do you think? Are you interested? Outstanding! Here, you'll need this special triangulating device. Think of it as a wireless compass, pointing the way to the next beacon. When you find a beacon, this device records your discovery and directs you to the next stop on your tour. Find every beacon, finish your tour, and come back here to claim your commemorative hat. Simple!
How'd you do that so fast?
My dear fellow,
I've always loved that stuff.
Hey, careful. Don't go running around in the middle of a crime scene. You mean Miss Jolie Kerr? She was reported for practicing a subversive aesthetic. We found her in her office, working on something perverse. She didn't cooperate, so we had to put her down. Never took her for a dissident sympathizer. No argument there. Feels like the whole colony's going insane. What with dissidents infiltrating the walls of Byzantium, Byzantium cultural standards are enforced by Universal Defense Logistics. Universal Defense Logistics. Your first and last line of defense in the war against sedition. move along.
I love Byzantium.
Welcome, intrepid adventurer, to Prosperity Plaza, where the shops never close. Now, make your way to the bustling region of Emerald Vale. Prepare to be dazzled by the Vale's breathtaking lava flows, rated the third most impressive in Halcyon.
Spacer's Choice pre-sliced bread.
Your best find this week.
Here's what I can't get over. Clyde wasn't always friendly. He wasn't ever polite. But he was always on a level. You always knew where he stood. Now I don't know what to think. I don't know if he was ever straight with me. Did he ever believe in fighting the board, or was he just feeding me a story?
Don't take it personally. Most people aren't even honest with themselves. Gets easier when you remember that.
I guess it don't matter now. Clyde's gone. It's time I moved on.
Got your paperwork squared away? What was that?
Lawbreak! Hey, soldier! You can't just wander around the minister's residence. What do you think you're doing? Me? I'm watching for suspicious activity. Well, when you put it that way... Look, I don't have any visitors on file today, UDL related or otherwise. I won't report this, but you need to leave.
How did you get in here? You're not one of my guards. What are you doing here?
I don't know if I trust this so-called minister fella, if that is his real name.
So, this is one of the guys who runs the colony, huh? Small room for a big shot.
If this is about another Aetherwave clip or radio spot, you may kindly fuck off, as the parlance goes. I'm not doing any more. Slowly and loudly, Aloysius, it's the only way these morons understand anything. I said, you may tell Charles to go fuck himself. Chairman Rock! Oh, terribly sorry. I thought you were part of Rockwell's PR team. But if you're not, that means you're a dissident? A real live dissident?
Finally! High time we got the recognition we deserve.
And so affable. Why, you're nothing like the crazed hooligans the board loves to caricature. But what are you doing here? And how did you get in? Then what are you... Oh. My friend, the slightest demonstration of independent thought or action renders one a dissident in the board's rather expansive definition of the term, which is why I'm dying to know what brought you here. Drugs, of course. What else? Why did I get my hopes up? Back to idiot speak. I don't have any drugs. You should try a vending machine or a purveyor of curative goods.
I ain't buying it, boss. I said we check him for drugs.
Will that be all, then? Process of elimination. The only other person with access? Of course. It's Rockwell again. Who else? And I thought he was only holding me here to keep me out of the way. You are a quick study, indeed. I've long suspected Rockwell of transacting business in my name, but this proves it.
Yeah, sure. It's always someone else who ordered the hookers and energizing ointment.
Please, this is important. Whatever it is that brought you here, Rockwell's the one behind it. How should I know? I've been under house arrest for years. But there is a way to find out, and perhaps to set things right. Whatever Rockwell's doing, he'll be doing it from the HHC headquarters. Your best lead is to look for details in his office.
If by look for details he means knock things about and take what we like, count me in.
That's certainly one way of doing things. Far be it from me to dictate your methods.
We really gonna do this? Getting involved is a messy business, and it rarely pays.
This is about more than bits. This is about the survival of the colony. If you don't help, who will? Why, this is starting to sound like an issue of Dissident Hunter. Halcyon Holdings Corporation, the collective of companies that run the colony together. Allegedly in partnership with the Earth Directorate and appointed Minister of Earth. Via the Acropolis District, of course. That's where the most important corporate and government facilities are. But only board employees are allowed into the district. There's a heavily guarded checkpoint just down the street. There might be a route through the maintenance tunnels, but I'm afraid I don't know specifics. Most people avoid the area for obvious reasons. They're rather dirty. There are also rumors of sprat infestations, faulty automechanicals, and other unsavory hazards, if that sort of thing bothers you. When you reach the HHC building, this access card should get you up to the executive suites, where the chairman's office and what used to be my office are. Oh, I haven't been allowed up there in years. I shudder to think what Rockwell's done with the place. A gilded minibar, perhaps? A personal theater. The man has too much money and too little sense. The board's lackeys are none too bright. I simply claimed I'd lost it and hid it somewhere no one would think to look. I merely hid it in a book. No one reads anything longer than a few pages around here. There are a few advantages to dealing with imbeciles. Wait! Rockwell has one of the only terminals capable of transmitting to the Earthbound message drone. This is our chance. Please, take this and transmit it from his office. Rockwell hasn't given me any messages from Earth for years. He's desperate to keep me out of contact with the Earth Directorate. But they need to know what's happening here. Why, indeed. I know so little about you, much less your motivations. But I'm afraid I don't have many options, confined as I am. Besides, I've nothing to lose. If you're looking into Rockwell, I can only hope you're also looking out for Halcyon. What isn't on it is the real question. I've gathered meeting minutes, internal messages, sustainability reports, and more, all exposing the corruption and mismanagement plaguing Halcyon. Once the rest of the Earth Directorate sees it, they'll have to send help.
You're telling us you gathered up a whole mess of evidence on the board's corruption. How big is this cartridge again?
Large enough, I assure you. That's why you must transmit the data to the Earth Directorate and hope for their speedy intervention. Depending on the nature of their response, months at least, perhaps years. Organizing and sending personnel all the way out here is no mean feat. Perhaps there is hope after all. And now I entrust it to you. Good luck, and trust no one in the Acropolis district.
Keep your shoulders up.
Hey, Ellie. Hey, Ellie, how's your head? Still spinning?
Felix, the secret to surviving a good night is a big breakfast. Wait.
That's the last of them.
Finally. Is it just me, or are we getting more and more retirees lately?
Not just you. Felt like a damn factory worker these last few months. Oh well. Nothing a few drinks won't cure. Come on, let's go hit up Bijou's.
Can't. They're closed. Someone saw a sprat in there.
Bijou's too? Damn. What's this city coming to?
Welcome to the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Early Retirement Center. You, the lucky few, have been selected to spend the rest of your days living the high life in your own private district in Byzantium. When you arrive, you'll be whisked away to your very own luxury penthouse, furnished exclusively by 24/7 Furniture's deluxe Falscowood collection. Some assembly required. 24/7 Furniture is not responsible for any injury, psychological damage, or divorce litigations that occur during the assembly process. After you get settled in, you'll have the chance to explore your new home. Why not go for a bite at one of our many restaurants, like CNP's Blazing Borscht Barbecue or Rizzo's All-You-Can-Crunch Cereal Buffet? Or maybe you'd like to head to the bar and enjoy an ice-cold Zero-G Brew by Spacer's Choice. Zero-G Brew, an ale that's good for what ails you, although in the early retirement district, nothing will. All this and more will be complimentary for the entirety of your stay, courtesy of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation. You won't have to spend a bit. So relax, grab a refreshment from one of our vending machines, and enjoy our specially constructed welcome center. While you're here, be sure to check out the displays for some fun facts about the early retirement program and selection process. Then, once you're ready, enter the elevator at the end of the hall and leave your troubles behind. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Today is the first day of your early retirement. Congratulations. Welcome. To the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Early Retirement Center. You, the lucky few, have been selected to spend the rest of your days living the high life in your own private district in Byzantium. When you arrive, you'll be whisked away to your very own luxury. Some assembly required. 24/7 furniture is not responsible for any injury, psychological damage, or divorce litigations that occur during the assembly process.
Wait a second. This annual retirement program.
Halt. Unexpected noise identified. Security worker, what do you think you're doing? This worker is entirely lawful.
You gotta show me how you did that.
Threat level neutralized. Halt. Process invest.
Make him regret it. Nice one.
System.
One down fighting me.
Unexpected.
Wait for this! Get past that armor!
Nice and quick.
They got the drop on us. Nothing fun ever happened in this town. You got nimble fingers, Captain. Nice going.
Any luck finding my sprats? Truly? Why, this is marvelous! And all safe and sound. Oh, Reginald, Philippa, Vonda, Haroon, Iskander, Evelyn, I'm never letting you out of my sight again. Please, take this. It's not much, but it's the best I can offer for the safe return of my darlings. Now, I've got to get back to the lab before my supervisor logs my absence.
Out with it, you wretched contraption!
Oh, there. I must admit, I'm getting a certain thrill out of our little arrangement. If this goes well, perhaps I'll start hiring wandering delinquents to handle all of my affairs. It is going well, I hope. I knew it. I just knew it. What a disaster. Did you get a good look around? What was it like? Truly? Why, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. I can't believe they kept this from us. From me. The nerve. The audacity. Here, take your payment. I have to fetch my things. I don't care what I have to do. They'll give me luxury or give me death.
Hey, if you insist.
any luck finding... Now...
I must admit, I'm getting a certain thrill out of our little arrangement. If this goes well, perhaps I'll start hiring wandering delinquents to handle all of my affairs. It is going well, I hope. What? You mean it's just a sham they perpetuate so they can dispose of the rabble? That's brilliant. To take the most burdensome members of our society and simply remove them. Oh, I'll never doubt the wisdom of the board again. Why, I had no reason to be envious at all. What a relief. Just as any professional should be, even if your profession is violently inclined vagrant. Now then, to the matter of your fee. Of course, as we agreed. I'm not one to break a contract. In any event, while I'm deeply grateful for the peace of mind you've brought me, I will need some solitude to fully bask in it. So if there's nothing further... Oh, there. I must admit, I can't believe...
Her words.
Didn't I request no more fertilizer shipments be brought on board? Who keeps ordering? These.
Report command.
I so enjoy watching you sleep for hours on end, Captain. It's quite entertaining the way you drool and whimper. I believe your choice to spare Chartrand would be considered the honorable path, yes? Sublight's money is inconsequential in the face of ethics. We've reached HRS-1084, Captain. It's emitting a very weak docking signal. I almost mislabeled it as normal etheric static.
You know something? You might be the finest agent Sublight ever hired. Chartrand. I've seen that name before somewhere. Cascadia, right?
Some crew members are causing...
You're adjusting before you pull. You're anticipating it. You...
Of course I'm anticipating it. What if I shoot a friend on accident?
That's on account of your stance. You want to lean into it. Embrace it. Work with it. You're in control here, Parvati, not the gun. Don't let a hunk of metal jerk you around. You've been around powerful machinery all your life. And you're always in control, right?
I guess that's kind of like when the filler's shooting 600 cans of near molten cell tuna down the conveyor while I'm trying to tune a belt.
Here, stand like me. Just so. Hips square. Lean forward a little. It's just equipment. You're just an engineer using it. Ah! Okay. We'll try again later. You'll get it. I promise.
We've arrived at the groundbreaker.
Is it done? Well, damn. Contractor grew a conscience. As your employer, I'm both angry and disappointed. I'll add that to your file. Technically, I owe you an exit interview. Care to justify your betrayal of our species, or are we finished here? You're awfully quick to trust someone who offed her colleagues and called it a good start. Out of my office. We're done.
This is why I always ask for half my payment up front.
The thanks we get for showing a little integrity.
I said, get out.
Sam, I must confess, I have not been cleaned for far too long. You're sure this will... Oh, yes. That's the spot exactly. Why, I didn't expect you to be so thorough. I am ashamed to admit. Oh, Captain, there you are. Pardon, but perhaps you could afford us some privacy, please? We are now in orbit above Byzantium. Captain, Felix and the Vicar are arguing again.
Young Millstone, you look pensive.
We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
hope you've enjoyed your trek across the breathtaking landscape of Emerald Vale, Terra 2's most fertile settlement and future breadbasket of Halcyon. Take a moment to enjoy this vista with a can of Spacer's Choice Saltuna before you make your way to Mighty Scylla, Halcyon's biggest asteroid.
Captain, Felix and the Vicar are arguing again. Destination reached. Scylla.
Scylla is our colony's busiest mining settlement. But don't take our word for it. Ask one of the hundreds of proud Hephaestus miners going about their work right now. You're in for a real treat, because our last stop takes us to a charming little village outside Stellar Bay, located on Terra 1.
Not today, Sam. I am not in the mood for a deep clean. Oh, all right. Some culprit who shall not be named spilled Rizzo's lemon slap on my console. We are now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain. No blockade is a match for my piloting skills.
Someone else will clean this up, right?
Welcome to Terra 1, the most Earth-like world in Halcyon. Take a moment to admire the triumph of civilization over nature, And while you're at it, say hello to the local settlers. We hope you've enjoyed this guided tour across the wonders of Halcyon. Please return to the Bureau of Exploration for a special prize.
Always wanted to visit Stellar Bay. Taking the sights, the sounds, the... Wait, what's that smell?
Am I the only one getting hungry?
It's a bus! Poor Braxton.
I don't want
I must thank you for your excellent recommendation regarding Zora. She's most capable. Anyway, what can I do for you? Quite well. As a matter of fact, Zora is proving most capable. You should see the way she pounds the table and gets straight to the point. It makes for some rather exhilarating meetings. I know I had my concerns initially, but your instincts were right. Zora and her compatriots have become valuable and productive members of our community. And since we're back in the board's good graces, we've got real growth prospects to look forward to. What can I do for you?
The infamous Amber Heights.
Something about this place makes me feel sane by comparison.
May the eternal truth guide you.
Alright, pushing up. Looks like we're doing this!
Take him down!
Crew report. Nyoka is drunk. Surprise. We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Oh, it's you. I suppose you're here to collect your prize, hmm? I really do have the worst luck. When I gave you this job, I never expected you'd be so damned competent. The tour's not real, friend. Board shut it down years ago due to unacceptably high rates of fatalities. So I greased a few palms and got the tour up and running again. I outfitted every beacon with a recording device. Live footage of dim-witted mercenaries dying in gruesome ways across Halcyon. Oh, imagine the ratings. Oh, come on. I would have made your death worth millions. Look, never mind. Just take your reward and get out of my hair. One certified explorer's hat, courtesy of the Bureau of Exploration, with my compliments.
How'd you do that so fast?
I tell you what,